By the way, talking about Biden, Rob, if you can show this. So here's Biden being asked a question about Xi, and then we're going to show the clip about what's going on in San Francisco. So first, Rob, let's start off with the San Francisco, what it looks like. By the way, this is, when you watch this, the first part I'm going to show you is China. Then I'm going to show you what San Francisco looks like. Okay. This is China. Go ahead. Go ahead and play this, Rob, if you can. Rob, go ahead. Go ahead, Rob, play this.
Play it. Let me hear this. Wow, China... It's so clean.
The streets of China is
Look
incredible.
at China, bro. Like, I like how they represent with all of their flags. I respect.
I mean, you have to do that. It's your country.
It's your country.
To show that
all flags. It's clean. Look, Pat. Is there any dirt? No dirt.
Well, this is the case study. Like they're saying, look how clean China is. This is what we expect San Francisco to be.
Dude. To be honest with you, I would love to move to China.
And
if it looks like
Xi
that,
coming in. But
then there's Xi.
And you can pause it now, folks.
Wow.
I'm messing with you. That's actually San Francisco.
Oh, really?
That's San Francisco.
Even Rob got confused. Rob's like, I don't know.
I was like, that doesn't look very Chinese.
And Rob,
that is
you got me, Pat.
China.
You got me good.
That's San Francisco. They made San Francisco look like China.
Is there any video of what that street typically looks like?
No,
I'd love to see it.
Well, it used to be disgusting. They cleaned it up. They put barriers
and walls. There used to be a guy with a hammer living on that street. He was one of
Paul Pelosi.
Yeah, he was. But go ahead.
Exactly right. But pay attention, guys.
Shout out to Paul Pelosi.
Not one American flag. Not one pride flag. It's all about China. And bro, and Gavin Newsom has, Pat, I don't know if you saw, this is Gavin Newsom's response. They asked Gavin Newsom, well, you're cleaning this up just because there's some a dictator is coming here, some leader, and that's your excuse?
Played.
Folks say, oh, they're just cleaning up this place because all those fancy leaders are coming into town. That's true.
Why?
Because it's true.
No, because it's true.
But it's also true for months and months and months prior to APEC. We've been having different conversations. I know.
Okay, so Pat, here's my question.
This is a smart politician getting in front of the narrative.
Yeah, but can I ask you guys a question, though, Pat?
It's the 8 Mile approach.
What? Like,
yeah, I know I live in a trailer park. I know that San Francisco's shitty. I know that there's poop maps everywhere, but we're going to clean this thing up.
Rob,
okay, good. I'd love to see
Look at that.
Go back a little bit, Rob, so everybody can go for it. Well, this is San Francisco before and after. Look at the top.
Look at that.
That's the same street before.
And those are metal things so homeless people can't sleep. They put that there so no homeless people could even get comfortable. Look, walls. What happened to the no border wall? But
I think for the sake of America, Xi should just do a tour of America. Go to New York,
everywhere.
Go to Chicago.
Yeah.
Come down to Dallas, get some Texas on. Come down to Florida. Let's party in South Beach. Xi just clean up the country.
Where is the American
unbelievable
outrage? Where's the outrage that it takes a dictator to come here for them to clean up a city that we've been begging, clean up the homeless, the drugs, it's disgusting. So it takes this piece of shit to come here. By the way, he's 2 for 2 for cleaning up our streets. First with COVID, it looked just like that, and now with this.
Well, no,
now with this.
I mean,
but
we had a lot of riots during COVID.
No. Well, hold on. I'm telling you right now, this relationship, this situation should worry everybody. Gavin Newsom, who we all know is going to be running for president. We're not stupid. He's buddy-buddy with China. China's coming in. They're showing their force. Biden just said to guys, what did he say, Rob? He goes, hey, Gavin Newsom's a great governor. I wouldn't mind him taking my spot.
Clip? Watch this here.
Pay attention to what this idiot says.
Listen.
I want to thank him. He's been one hell of a governor, man.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, he could do anything you want. He could have the job I'm looking for.
He could do anything he wants. He could even take the job that I'm looking for, meaning the president.
You have the job.
Well,
he has no
Mr.
idea
what's going on. You are the
president. Yeah. But by the way, play the clip when they ask him about Xi, and he says what he says, and Blinken's face. You have to see this when he's answering. His handler, like, President, don't say that. Don't say that. Watch this.
Mr. President, after today, would you still refer to President Xi as a dictator? This is a term that you used earlier this year.
Look, he is. I mean, he's a dictator.
Oh, my God. He got Blinken's blinking.
Go back again, Rob.
Show it again.
Go back again.
Mr. President, after today, would you still refer to President Xi as a dictator? This is a term that you used earlier this year.
Look, he is. I mean, he's a dictator.
Do that again.
Play one more time, Mr. President, after today, would you still refer to President Xi as a dictator? This is a term that you used earlier.
I'll talk to him.
Look, he is. I mean,
Oh, shit. Oh,
By the way,
God.
you know what that face is? Most Americans know what that face is. This is Thanksgiving, and your wife and you're at the Thanksgiving table, got the whole family around, everybody has sharp knives, and your wife just says something about your mom. And Thanksgiving is about to go into a big verbal fight, and that's you.
That's it. And he's
Tom, don't throw Kim under the bus
Well,
right
no,
now
I'm
with
not.
Babs,
But
okay? You have a great wife.
Oh, gosh.
It's pretty
This is
crazy
gonna be a long
to see,
dinner.
though, even when he was sitting across from Xi and the meeting was coming to an end, he's one of the main handlers. Kirby's one of the other handlers. But then right when it was done, their other handlers are kicking out all the press corps, and they're like, no, everybody get the hell out. You can't even get to Biden. I'm shocked they even let this question happen. But more concerning is the relationship that these guys have with Xi. He shook his hand. They're friends. This just brings back their whole relationship.
Rob, can you pull up the Vegas odds for Newsom?
Yeah,
please?
I think it might have actually been lower than 12. But think about it.
While
Think
you're
about
doing
this,
that,
guys.
I can't wait for this guy's. But I can't wait for him to write the book.
Yeah, Newsom is 12-1.
12 to 1.
And he was at 41,
was
44 to 1.
44, and Wayne Adam couldn't get the bet. Guys, I'm telling you at home,
Still not too
that
late,
is the
man.
bet to make.
But
Is Gavin
ladies and
Newsom,
gentlemen,
especially with
By the way,
Look at RFK.
look at this.
Look at Vivek.
Even though they show Haley ahead, look where Vivek is at, tied with RFK.
Oh wow, I didn't see that.
Wow. So the polls, and only 2 away from DeSantis being at 12. Vivek.
By the way, if you want to go there, you waiting for Rob to pull that up? Because I've got some new polls too.
I love polls.
Brand new polls.
Can we address kind of what actually some of the tangible substance that actually happened in this meeting with China? I've done some stuff on this. So obviously the dictator thing is going to be in the headlines, and then he was asked later. He did double down on it right after that.
Yeah.
But
Come on, he is.
he kind of is a dictator. I mean,
What do you mean, kinda? He
runs the
dictator.
Communist Party of China, and it's if you say anything against the CCP, you'll end up missing. Look at Jack Ma. Where's he been? Now he's sort of, but I think this is obviously the most important two-country relationship in the world. That's not even a question. If you want to get into the substance of what's going on with China, we all know that the CCP runs that country, but their core foreign policy is usurping the United States to being the global leader, and they want to counter the U.S. and become the dominant country in the world. So the premise of this meeting was restoring confidence in the Chinese economy. We've covered the whole Evergrande. There wasn't even another real estate company that they've been basically under bankruptcy. So they basically came here to sort of smooth out relations in the U.S. We've seen the debt crisis. We've seen sort of the downturn in the Chinese economy. But here are the key things they talk about. He didn't mention much, if anything, about trade relations or even the debt situation going on in the U.S. It was all about stabilizing just general relationships. They were talking about having military contact moving forward or resuming military contact, working on the fentanyl situation, cooperation on that.
What do you mean by what do they mean by working on the fentanyl situation? You guys are sending
Exactly.
the fentanyl here.
They addressed
How working, and they talked about
addressed it.
climate, Adam. Climate.
They did do a little bit of climate. They were talking about new dialogue regarding AI. But most importantly, probably the most important thing they discussed was the conservation of pandas here in the United States. That was one of the main topics they talked about over there. But they didn't really get into trade or investment or anything like that.
Bob, can you go back to that? Because, hold on. What China says right here, this is an ultimatum. This isn't a conversation. Xi says U.S. and China can only be adversaries, meaning enemies or partners with no middle ground. That isn't a relationship. That is either we're going to fight or we're going to be cool. We can't just be like chill with each other. And Adam, this just goes to show us that China owns us, owns Biden. Biden is compromised. Bro, what do you mean you don't? They can fly spy balloons wherever the hell they want. Okay, they could buy land next to military bases. They're buying hundreds of thousands of acres of land. When they come to San Francisco, it gets cleaned up to a T, and homeless people are freaking kicked out and pushed to to Sacramento. Like, China owns us. How much more proof do you need? And that's why this relationship is scary, because I'm telling you right now, if Trump gets to run, and Trump is the front runner, that's what you need to be scared of. We were talking about pandemic 2 maybe coming to help zoom out. Who knows what the hell is going to be up their sleeves, bro? Because they do not. You think China wants Trump? to come in, you're nuts.
Definitely.
No,
Let me just finish my point here because I think you
Go a little faster. Go make your point because we're about to wrap up.
Okay, so here the thing is, I'm not even talking about politics right now. Put politics aside because that's obviously. But this was a business, basically a biz def situation. If you want to look at who was at that dinner last night, it was a $40,000 per plate dinner, and then you can pay $2,000 to basically be a part of the GA. You got Tim Cook, Elon Musk was there, but he didn't, I guess, participate in the dinner. You have Steven Schwartzman from Blackstone. You have Larry Fink from BlackRock.
Great.
You have Ray Dalio sitting there. You got the execs from Qualcomm, from Pfizer, from FedEx, from Boeing. Mark Benioff was apparently there. But Mark Zuckerberg, interesting enough, wasn't there, even though that this has happened.
He had a surgery. He got hurt.
That's right, hurt his name. But I think, in my opinion, and this kind of goes to you, every single name who was at this dinner, every single name who was basically a part of this, their names should be disclosed, coinciding with this whole APEC meeting that was going on. Not APEC, American-Israeli, but APEC, the Asia-Pacific Rim that was going on there. Any name out there that's dealing with China, their name should be disclosed for sure. I'm definitely not basically saying, he can come in and do whatever he wants. I'm basically saying that I'd rather have dialogue and relationships with our greatest adversary rather than being like, fuck you.
Well, here's the question.
Because that doesn't work.
Yeah, so here's the question. By the way, total net worth of $760 billion was at dinner.
Jeez.
And take 250 of it from one guy. Okay.
Yeah.
And Jeff Bezos wasn't there. So it's not like Bezos was there to add his 200. So take Bezos' 250.
billion.
It's a $1 trillion crew, right?
$1 trillion net worth was there. But here's the thing. So Xi gets up and says, we can either be allies or enemies, but we can't be in the middle. How do you interpret that, Tom?
Very simply, at this business dinner, he said, the terms of being in business with China are like this. We're a full partner, which means we open the borders for each other and we are unconstrained. Or we're full adversaries and I'm taking Taiwan and you want to come do something about it, we can get there. It's that simple because what he's saying is, tariffs. I don't want the tariffs. I don't want the complete impediment to certain shipments of certain imports of certain materials, let alone the tariff on it. He's saying no restrictions. So, and he wants China to be our unconstrained, unrestrained trading partner to ship as much as they want in. Period. And that's the end of the story. So either we are full partners like this and get rid of all this tariffs and stuff, or we're full adversaries. Pick one.
But Tom, wasn't that the whole premise of the Republican Party is just free trade, don't stop trade, laissez-faire economics? Like, wasn't sort of the whole part of what
Trump was trying to make them...
But if free trade is truly free and if currencies are truly balanced to one another, but China has never had a currency that was balanced and pegged to the world currencies, the dollar, the euro, the pound. It's never been pegged to that. It's always been an unfair economic game with what happens to pricing. And so, it is, unless you're dumping, unless you are putting tariffs the other way. So if there's tariffs the other way, good Republican presidents have spoken up. You're going to put a tariff on aluminum going that way? I'm going to put a tariff on all the bauxite going the other way.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's the way it works.
I totally get that.
But I wanted to ask him, so Tom, with that attitude, either adversaries, either enemies, or partners, once we say, okay, we sign on to this, which it seems like they're going to do, but I think Biden's going to do it, then when they want to attack Taiwan, remember, there's no middle. We're either with them or against them. So what do we do?
I've made my one point, and it's just another 20 minutes to go and analyze it.
But you don't like.
So here's what I would say. This is what I would say with this. For me, he's getting up here. He's saying what he's saying. Great. You want to be allies? Great. It's either this or that. I actually like the way he's doing it. If I'm China, and I'm in his ear, or if I'm somebody that's processing with him on how to present this to America, he did it the right way. Because what he's trying to say is, whoever gets elected next, you guys better not start investigating me for,
COVID.
What happened during COVID and Wuhan and all this stuff. You better not bring that up, because if you do that, we're not partners.
Of course, that's what he's doing.
So now here's a part. If America doesn't investigate that, then the American people who don't ask for that as an important issue are so short-sighted and so quick to move on that the only way you resolve any issue, for example, think about it. What needs to be there for capitalism to work? What needs to be there for capitalism to work in a fair way? What needs to be there?
Freedom, liberty, and debate.
Okay, there's one word that needs to be there. Laws. Okay? Why do you need laws? Because if you don't have laws, then there's a lot of things that somebody can come and do to bully you. For example, China, back in the days when they wanted to kind of start competing with U.S., there's one reason why they couldn't compete with U.S. China only had 4 law schools. The entire country only had 4 law schools. Think about that.
That's crazy.
What the hell you mean you have only 4 law schools? So then they started investing into law schools because they needed to have law and order. So when you compete, you're able to go do what you're doing, and it's safe and protected, right? So what is the whole concept of law and order? That leads to what? Why do we need law and order? To hold people what? Accountable. Is China going to be held accountable?
Definitely not.
No.
But that's not the right thing, though.
Obviously.
They have to be held accountable, and we have to find out what happens because... And then China says, it's either we're allies or not. Fine, let's define allies. Is it your definition of ally? Is it you defining? Because you and I can get, husband and wife can get married and say, I want to be a partner for the rest of my life. Okay, maybe your definition of partner is very different than mine. Your definition of partner could be give me half of everything you got. That's not my definition of partner. Here's what my definition of partner is. So if you want to be partners, here's what I want you to do. What's that? Allow every one of our social media companies to be in China. Give access to all our social media companies. That's a definition of partnership to us.
Yeah.
If you're okay with this, we want to go out there and investigate it to find out what happened with COVID, because I'm sure you want to know, just like we want to know.
Of course.
Let's be partners.
Yeah.
Let's partner up and find out where it was leaked to see if it did come out. You want to be partnered? That, to me, is what you call a partnership, right? So whoever is the dictionary to define the word partner dictates the terms. If China decides what the meaning of partnership is, it may not be a partnership to us, but it means to them. So, but he's playing his cards in a very brilliant way. And by the way, one thing about Biden, here's the one thing about Biden. Forget about what Biden should say. What Biden typically says off the cuff and then he corrects himself, that's what really Biden believes in.
100%.
Did you understand what I just said right there?
1000%.
Absolutely.
Like Biden knows this guy's a communist dictator, but they're going to go correct him because that's not what you're supposed to say. It's what he is. So Biden's not necessarily a diplomatic, he doesn't have the diplomatic prowess of, going out there and just showing his ability to do that. It's not his specialty. But we know who this guy is, and at the end of the day, whoever's able to negotiate and structure what a partnership means, that organization controls the other one. I'm not comfortable partnering up with a country. And by the way, you said something. You said, don't you believe in the fact that, laissez-faire, let them, Republican Nixon is probably where you're going to. Let's open up this and let's open up that.
Yeah, open trade.
But it's got to be both ways, though. And this is not both ways. This is not both ways. This is more this way. They're benefiting. U.S. is not benefiting from this relationship as much as they are.
Makes sense.
The amount of money on import-export, when you look at how much they're getting instead of us, they're crushing it in the negotiation. Xi and China should write a book on negotiation. It'll probably do better than Art of the Deal.
And the reality is we don't want them to be, we don't want to try to go to war with China, especially a hot war, but they're not our friend. This isn't a binary option. It's somewhere in the middle here. We're competitors. We're decoupling from their situation over there. We're all about capitalism. They're all about communism. And we're never going to see eye to eye on this. And what was the whole China 2030? What was that?
Made in 2025.
Yeah, 2025. That's
2 years. 13
months from now.
Yep.
But the 2025 is a global, but that obviously was pre-COVID. But we can have competition without conflict, I think is really what it comes down to. But they are not our friends. So I don't believe that this is a binary option.
That looks like an underage kid working right there, Rob, that photo that you got. That looks like a child labor camp, which
I'm
I don't
sure it
agree
is,
with.
Ben.
I'm pretty sure it is. He's such a good guy that we should roll out the red carpet for him. I don't trust him at all.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.